where we left off, and as you know, we finished our painting here, and we're looking at the colors again for the colors just of the shadows. And earlier we had mixed some of the colors that we're going to use in these landscape colors here. So we basically did all of the greens and some of the blues in here, some of the green grays in here, but we didn't get to all of these different color browns and the tones for the flesh. So we're going to finish that today, and we're going to move, and we're going to turn this canvas around, and we're going to probably need 2 canvases to do this. So we're going to start from here in the bottom and go around and fill this area with the rest of the colors that we need today for the shadows. So let's start. And the one color that we are missing here is our face color. So we want to think about the colors of the portrait and the face, and most of them had pales, but it was pales mixed with a little bit of greens and some grays. So when we're thinking about the face, in this situation I would mostly start here with some white, and then what I'm going to do is to that white, in this order, I'm going to add a little bit of red, and I'm going to come out with this very, very bright pink, and then I'm going to balance it. I'm going to add some yellow to it. And I have this peach color. And then if I want to make the peach color a little bit lighter, then I can just easily add some white to it. And I have this light color for the peach. And if I wanted to have a little bit more of a yellow tone to it, I can add a little bit more of a yellow, some white, and a spot of red. I'm looking at all of the different flesh tones because some of them have more pink, some of them have more yellow in them, some of them have a little bit of blue. So when I'm making these colors, I want to really observe the painting, and I kind of want to look at all of those areas. Now that I have my beautiful flesh tones, I'm going to remake the main pale color, and then I'm going to start darkening, make that color a little bit darker. And the way that I do that is I'm going to add some greens and some grays, so I have my flesh tones for all the shadows. So I'm going to start doing that again, and we just remade our peach color, and I'm going to move it over here so we have 2 areas of the peach color. And to one we're going to add a little bit of blue, and to one we're going to add a tiny bit of green. So I have a little bit of this. I'm just going to darken this nice blue. And this could work really well for a shadow. It almost looks gray. And then to the other one I'm going to add a bit of green here. And then I'm going to add a spot of red again. I'm going to mix that really well. Okay. Now the other colors that we have to do are we have to kind of do all of these brown areas. So we need some brown also for the face. So in this situation I'm going to do my red and green. Now I could have a lot of different color browns. I could have a purple and a yellow in this situation would work really well, but I am going to start out with this red and green, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to it. And the reason I'm doing this brown is because I want to move this brown down here, and I want to add white to it. I'll take a little bit more of it. And I want to mix it really well. And you'll see, because I'm now using this color for the area of the shadow in the flesh. So I'm kind of building these flesh colors down here. And you can see them coming up in here. So we're going to move to the next canvas because we have a lot more colors to mix to be able to see these areas in the canvas. And I'm going to go a little bit faster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this yellow again here, and I'm going to add a little bit of green. And I'm going to add some red. And then I'm going to clean my palette knife, and I'm going to make that flesh color again, which was white, a tiny bit of red, some yellow, I'm going to move that color over here, and I have to add some more yellow into it, a little bit more red. I have this bright orange. I'm going to tone it down, some white. It's really going to bring out that beautiful pink, and then I'm going to take a lot of yellow and move it into there. I'm going to move this color down here. And separately to that color, I'm going to add some green, some more red, and remember, these are just the flesh colors that we're doing now. I'm going to add some blue, a lot of white, some yellow, move that over here, and we have some shadows, some green shadows I'll show you in the face. And we're going to have all these shadows ready. And when you're looking at the colors, once they're mixed, you can hold them up to the painting and you can kind of identify where they are. Let's see if you can kind of see them, because it's really, I train myself every day when I go out. I try to make an exercise where I can find a new color. It's kind of a thing that I do when I walk down the street. I'm like, ooh, what new color can I find today? Or what new color can I make that I was inspired by what I was looking at. And the only way that you get really good with making colors is exposing yourself to them all the time, challenging yourself, trying to make a new color. Okay, and these are going to be almost our flesh tones. I need a little bit more white. And usually I would have my palette all together before I'm ready to paint. I would have all these colors together. I would say, okay, I know I'm using this color for this area, this color for the shadow, maybe under the arm, this color for the shadow along the side. And again, in the beginning, you're not going to see all these colors. You know, the only way that you're going to learn about colors is by mixing them. There's no other way to do it. And then you'll say, ah, I know I want that flesh tone. So now I'm getting the color for the areas for the lips. And we're almost finished with these flesh tones. And then we can start moving into the orange browns. And after that, we'll start with the colors that the figures are wearing. They're wearing these like white, brown, tan. There's a little bit of bright yellow and green. And sometimes when I look at these, students say, well, I don't see all that. How do you see that? I don't see that. You know, and like I said, you have to train your eye. And you'll get to that point. And I tell students the only way you're ever going to get to that point is to keep mixing the colors. To kind of have a little bit of faith in yourself. Kind of put yourself out there. Say, you know what? This is something new that I'm trying. Every day, like I said, when I take a walk, I try to look for new colors. It makes it a little bit more exciting in my life. And if you choose your, you know, now, today we have the cell phone, which is really beneficial because you can just take a color of something that you like outside. You might pass something and you say, oh, I wonder how to find out how to make that color. And you just come home, just keep playing with your paints until you create it. So now I've done most of the colors for the flesh, and now I'm going to do the lips. You can see down here. I'll show you up close, and then we're going to move to the figure. That's the exciting part, when we do the whole figure and not just also the face. We have the hands. And you can see all these different colors. So I'll move it close again so you can see. Now we have, these are just colors that are just in the face. So I have this color here for the top part of the lip, this for the bottom part of the lip. This is where the flesh tone actually changes. This is for another shadow. This is for a shadow in the neck. And the best thing to do is you can hold up the painting and you can really try to find these colors. You can say, well, wait a minute, look at that. You know, you're right. Do you see how this changes? The shadow in here, this gets a little bit more brown. And then this is a lighter and tan. This has a little slodge of pink in it. This is like a pink brown. And if you look at the figure's face is close, look at all the different colors in the lips. So this is just basically the beginning. And again, we have this and this, where we've done this for some of the landscape colors, and this will be just for some of the colors, just for the areas of the face and the lips. We didn't even get to all of the body colors yet. So we'll do that in another session. So I hope you're trying to use a limited palette and try to go slow, build up a little bit of confidence, try new colors, try just looking at the color again, starting with the main flesh color and saying, what colors do I see for those shadows? And again, this is just for the parts of the areas of the face. We didn't even cover the neck or the rest of the body.